Okay guys, so here's a little demo and explanation of the ignition system, the simplest part. And this is kind of an old school one, and it used some old style parts, but I want to show you the diagram first. So this is the little diagram that was up before when I talked on the other video. Here's our battery right here. Here's our coil, that's our step-up transformer. Here's a coil. This is another coil pack. And this is what's called a coil on plug type coil, all right? Then we've got a little switch that opens and closes. And this is what it looks like. This is called contact points. These are old school, they're not electronic, they're all mechanical, and they open and close. And then of course, as that opens and closes, it opens and closes this side, or the primary side, of the ignition. And that's what, when you open it, all the energy that's built up in the coil then goes out and goes across the spark plug to create a spark. Okay, so here's a typical spark plug, right? There's where the power goes in, and this is what's inside the engine, and that's where it actually sparks across. We have one set up here, and I'll show you how that works in just a second. But I wanted to show you how that little switch works so you believe me, all right? So here's my switch. We have a light, and in fact, the light works. So if I hook up this little switch, and then I put it here, what you can see is when I open and close it, it turns the light on and off. And what's happening is, I'll hook this up to our coil now, okay? What's happening is, there's a little cam that runs around and opens and closes this inside the distributor. Now this is on an old style ignition that has a distributor, and the distributor is geared to the engine, and that's what spins around so that you get that timed spark. Okay, so those are kind of the basic parts. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to turn the system on, and you'll be able to see the spark that comes across here. So I'm going to energize the system, and now I'm going to spin this around and watch the spark plug. There's a little spark that's going on there. Kind of hard to see, I guess, but that's what's happening. So if you put your finger on this, then that's what would shock you. But that's our little sparking that's going on. Now if I do it with a slightly different device, this guy here, many times what we can get is a little bit louder spark and a little bit brighter. So I'm going to give that a try. This is actually a test plug. It doesn't have the same components. All right, so let's pull this guy out. Here we go. Take the plug out of here. I'm going to try and avoid getting actually sparked. All right, that spark plug there. Install that in, and hopefully I won't get shocked. But let's see what goes on. Okay, ready? Here we go. There we go. See a little bit more of a spark, and it kind of snaps. Okay, so that's kind of a demonstration on how we get our battery voltage, which is low, from this little guy, up to the voltage that we need to light the spark across the spark plug, which, again, if we were in class, you guys would get to hang on to this and have some fun because it makes you jump, but it doesn't really do anything to you. And that's how we light our fuel air mixture. So I wanted to give you a little bit of a insight to that. Watch the other two videos that are there. One shows how the point style ignition works, and then the other shows how an electronic style ignition works. So take a look at those and work on the questions, and then you'll have the slide deck. All right, talk to you later. Bye.